Okay, so welcome. Hi, today will be day 65. Um, 65 days left until the new year, and hopefully the mic is picking up, the volume is picking up. I don't have a mic today, so hopefully the computer is picking up what I'm saying. But anyways, so let's just hop into this video. And today I just wanted to be transparent and talk about my day. So today I got news that a job that I applied for, I didn't get the job. And at first I was like, okay, that makes sense, putting myself down. But then God reminded me like I was well qualified for the job. And if they did not choose me for the job, then it was their loss. It was nothing that I could have done differently on paper, but they chose to go somewhere else. And we will see who they choose. And I'm sure that whoever they choose for that role, it will be a great position. That person will fit that position well. And this is one of the things of trying to move up within a company, not applying outside of a company, but trying to go into leadership roles within the current company that I work at. But I just want to talk about that part of the part where I said, God, there was an impression in my heart that said, if they didn't choose me, then it was their loss. But also, um, I was also reminded that it is their loss. That means that something is bigger and better that's coming. God has something bigger and better coming that I can't even conceive or imagine. And the folks who was on the hiring team, they can't even imagine either. And I don't know, maybe I'll be moving on to another company or, moving to another state or another country, wherever God has me. I know that it's going to be bigger and better. And I just want to talk about that. So whatever you're going through in this life, whatever it has to do with, again, like our goals and how we plan. Man plans, but God orders their steps. We can plan and we can do all these things, but it's God who opens those doors. No door that God opens can be shut, and no door that God closed can be open. And I think also we have to be mindful that sometimes the doors that are not opening for us is not the enemy, right? Sometimes it's God saying no right now, because right now your character is not fully developed. Right now I'm still developing you. Right now you still need something burnt off of you, just kind of like iron or silver. We think of diamonds. They become what they are, the price of diamonds or whatever, when they go in the fire and they become pure, right? The purest state is what people sell. I hope people are selling pure diamonds and pure, carat gold or whatever they're selling for jewelry, and not fake ones. But they tend to sell the highest of quality of jewelry, right? It's most expensive when that there's a highest level of refinement. And so I'm just reminded of today throughout this process of applying for this job. And I applied to several jobs within this organization, within the same organization that I work with, and in being intentional about going into leadership roles and expanding my understanding, my knowledge of this field that I'm currently in. And it kind of just seems like the hiring manager, he doesn't want me in this position, or I could look at it as they just don't want me there. I'm that great. Or I can look at it as, no, there's another opportunity coming along the way. And how I react now, it determines how fast that other opportunity would come. So I'm literally having a posture of rejoicing, and I'm grateful, and I'm having faith, and I'm sticking with that faith of knowing, okay, this right here, right now, it may not be for me, but come down the road, maybe next month, in a couple of months, whatever it is, what God has established for me, it is for me, and it will be for me, and it work out for my good. Like I was saying earlier when we started these days to the new year, what God has for you, it will work out for you. It doesn't matter if it looks like it's bad, or if it looks like it's good, or it looks like it's in between. Regardless, God, it works it out for my favor. God works it out for my good. So this will work out for my good. Whether it was, okay, um, learn how to prepare your letter, learn how to um, read leadership books, read books on leadership, learn how to do good at interview skills, learn how to um, learn about the company that I'm working for, make sure I know what the company is about, and understanding the role that I apply for, understanding all those aspects of the application process in itself. It may not prepare me in the sense right now for another role within this company, but it may prepare me for another role in another person's company. Or, if I decide to establish a business for myself, I understand the roles that come with that, and how I'm expecting others to work with me as I hire other people. Um, Sometimes the most simplest things and the most mundane things in our lives, we kind of overlook them, or we just kind of assume, or we feed too much into the bigger scope of things without just pinpointing the one thing that is life changing and life altering. And so instead of being down and soaking in that disappointment, I was like, no, I can't just sit here in the disappointment. Yeah, I wanted to cry, and I kind of got a little emotional because it's like, man, how many times can I apply for jobs within this company and they overlook me? Um, but that's when God was like, hey, like, I've favored you, I've called you, I've ordained you. And if it is my will, it is my bill. And if I've closed the door, it's for a purpose. And when I decide to open the next door, it will be when I fully have refined you and I see that you are fit for that position. Because if you are understanding of God, God qualifies you. He doesn't need people within the world to qualify you. If He's called you to a position, into a place, into a land, he has equipped you and He has qualified you. If you look at it, so many different, musical artists, or people who are in business, or people who are just um, in regular lives, sometimes you're like, man, I wonder how they got that position, I wonder how they got that job. Or they're in this new car, they're in a new house, you're like, how did they do that? And it's like, it's because of God. Like, God qualified them. Like, it may not look like on paper, based off of credit reports, or based off of their resumes or something like that, but God qualifies people, to be in different positions. And it has nothing to do with their human capacity, in the sense. My grandma used to say that it's not all about book smart. We go to school, we get all this education, but at the end of the day, sometimes we act as if we didn't get no education at all. It's not always about who you know. It's not always about what you know. It's kind of is who you know, because if you know Christ, He could put you in places where men would never thought that you would go. But it also has to do with you understanding Him and surrendering to Him. And so today I've just reminded to surrender my thoughts to Him, surrender this disappointment to Him, and surrender my hopes and dreams. Again, just doing a reevaluation of, okay, did I apply for this job out of my own might and out of my own strength? Or was I really led by God? Was I led by the Holy Spirit to apply for this job? And regardless of how it was, of how I thought it was, God has the final say. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's like, okay, God, if you wanted me to have the job, you would have opened the doors. All I had to do was apply. And that's what I did. And I've shown time and time again how I'm qualified for the job. And if that job is not for me, God, then you've closed the door. And I remember, like within the last couple of weeks, I was just thinking, God, like, I don't want a job, or I don't want to be in a place where I put you on the back burner. Like, that's not what I want in this life. Like, I don't want a job, or opportunities where I don't continue to have God first, where I'm neglecting Him, where I am not intimate with Him, where I don't read the Bible, or I'm not in my word, where I'm not meditating, where I'm not thinking of Him every day. I don't want that type of job. I don't want that type of opportunity. And I was just thinking that. And maybe God was like, that's in her heart. This job that she applied for will take her away from me. He doesn't want that for me. And I don't want that for myself. So when you're dealing with certain aspects of your life and you're like, oh man, I failed here, or um, you're disappointed in like an outcome, you really just have to weigh every single thing, like put it on the scale, honestly, and just be like, where did you miss the mark? If it's not on you, then you're good. If you try to do it out of your own strength, just be like, man, God, I apologize. I did try to do this in my own strength, and that is not where I'm trying to be or trying to go forward in this quote unquote relationship. Um, and that's what I kind of did today. And it was quick. I saw the email that said I didn't get the job. I screenshotted it and I texted to my family and I was like, hey, I didn't get the job, but I know God has something better for me. And that means that it's their loss. And this is the posture that we should be going into the next year. If people say no to you, you should be rejoicing and be like, God, thank you so much, because obviously you're seeing something that I'm not seeing. Um, and you should be like, it's their loss. Now it's your opportunity. Now you have the opportunity to make sure your resume is good, like it's bomb. And that when you go to another interview outside of the organization that you apply for, maybe you apply again, and they just threw out the algorithm or the system that they send resumes through, it just automatically sends you a no. You need to put keywords in your resume so that you won't get filtered out as quickly, or whatever it is. That no is preparing you for your yes. So it's how you prepare and how you respond to the no that determines when that yes comes around, how you will fit into that yes, what posture you would have, what character you would have, how you would steward over that yes. And when I tell you I learned all of that today. So it's one, how you respond to your no. That will determine how you will steward your yes or how you will receive your yes. And how, when you receive your no, what do you do? What is your action in the in-between period of time? To your no, to your yes, but also having the mindset of understanding if it is God's will, He will provide, and it will be His bill. And then number four, if it is a no, oh well, it is their loss. It's their loss. And that's all I have for today. Is if you get a no, don't get all frustrated and flustered, because that means that there's something else that you have to do or God is working on you in order to prepare you for that yes. And that yes will be an arrow that shoots you so far off into the atmosphere, the stratosphere, that people who said that no, they would be full of regret that they didn't say no. And sometimes you need, naysayers. I know, like, sports people, athletes, they're like, yeah, they're saying that I couldn't get the W, that I was washed up or whatever. And then they came back, they won like the Super Bowl or the World Series, or, national championships or whatever like that. They use that as fuel. So let that no be fuel to, fuel for you to work towards that yes. And yeah, so let the naysayers be naysayers. It's their loss. We're always winning. So even if it's a no, we're always winning on this side. We're always winning. And just be mindful of that everything will work out for your good. Even the no's work out for your good. Even the haters, they work out for your good. All right, so be blessed. Until the next time. Bye.